Alright, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to make a animated ribbon banner sort of thing. I haven't seen too many people do this, so I figured I'd go ahead and create a tutorial for it. I'll show you right here. This is what we're going to be making. So yeah, it's pretty easy. We're not actually going to be doing any sort of 3D or even the 2.5D or whatever in After Effects. We're going to stick to all completely 2D. But as you can see, this is 2D, and it's quite convincing as a sort of 3D object. But you can create this pretty easily in a 3D program. But we're going to stick to After Effects today. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and get started. Create a new composition. 1920 by 1080. 10 seconds is fine. And go ahead and turn on your grid. And then we're also going to make sure that snap to grid is checked, because we're going to need that. So yeah, and then we'll create a new solid, Control Y, and white is fine. And go ahead and bring the opacity, hit T, bring the opacity down to about 25%, and bring in the tile action safe. Go ahead and grab the pen tool, and let's go ahead and draw our main part of the banner here. Also keep in mind that that first point, when you're sometimes doesn't like to snap to the points to the grid. So you want to just make sure everything's snapped, make it all nice and even. And also we want it to be both sides to be entirely center here, and it'll make our life a little bit easier for other parts. I'll show you when I get to that part in a little bit. So anyway, this is the main part of the banner. We'll go ahead and rename this to main. I'll create a new solid, and we'll call this left. Hit OK. Bring the opacity down to about 25%, and create our left part. It's going to look, always does that. It's going to look something like this. Come on. About like this. And that first point over here doesn't like to snap, so there we go. Probably something like that. Looks pretty good. Make that a little bit deeper. And that's our left part. And we'll create a new solid on white. We'll call this left inner, and bring that opacity down to about 25% as well. Left inner, we'll create a new mask here, and we're going to snap from the left points right here to the main parts here. So we'll do this like that, and go ahead and close it. Make sure this is snapped onto and it looks okay. Yeah. So as you can see, we're already starting to get our get the look of our banner. So pretty cool. And the reason I sort of wanted to keep this, it's just a good idea to keep this centered, completely centered. That's why I sort of have the grid and things like that. Is that so we don't have to create this stuff twice. We're just going to mirror it over to this side, and we're not going to do it just yet. Because we got a little bit of work here to do. So yeah. But if you're actually creating a ribbon for something and you're going to use it to wrap around, I don't know, like a circle, or use it for whatever, create the whole thing first. Just the bare basics, something like this, and put the right side in too, and then take the composition in there and make sure everything fits the way you want it to before you add all the razzle-dazzle-ness or whatever, and before you animate it. Just a hint there, so you don't have to reanimate or resize the whole damn thing, because that is sort of a pain in the ass. So anyway, so we have these parts here, right? Let's go ahead and take the opacity up on all of these. We're going to go to the main here. We can get rid of this grid for right now. We're going to add a ramp. And is this all the way up? Is everything all the way up here? Yeah, it is. It's the ramp that's doing that. Okay, so we'll grab the ramp. bring this down. Probably stick to something like what I did in the preview. Do a red in here like this. And grab this color, bring this down. Maybe a darker one. Now this it's important to keep in mind that this layer order is important. The main needs to be on top, and the inner parts here need to be in the middle. And then the left and right edges, these things, need to be at the very bottom. So anyway, we got the ramp for that. I have the ramp to the left. There we go, and we'll readjust the points on this. Maybe something like that. And we'll just do a fill on the inner here. And we'll just grab this darker color. I like that. As you can see, we already got a ribbon going. So that's good. Okay, so what's next? Let's do the trim or whatever. So let's start with the main here. We're going to duplicate this. Call this main stroke, right? And we have a mask on here. There's a couple things we need to do here. If we add the stroke right away, we'll show you how. If we add the stroke right away, you see that it sort of adds the stroke on this part, on the edge, and we just sort of want it across the top, you know, to sort of look like a real ribbon, or you know, close to a real ribbon. So we don't want these edges. Now, I suppose we could use this start and end to sort of put things where we want it to, and like duplicate the stroke a couple times, but yeah, I'm not really into that. So instead we're going to duplicate the mask down here on the stroke, and we're looking at just the stroke right now. We can do it on transparent here. Lock down the second mask. We're going to grab this first mask, and this is something I just learned recently, because we just want two lines, and we could draw out the masks, but since we already, you know, delete these and then create more masks with the pen tool, but this is the way I'm doing it. So grab these two down here, these 2 points, double click, so you just have a bounding box around these 2 points. Go to layer, mask and shape path, and uncheck closed. So now this first mask here is open. That means it's not connected down here. This yellow line, what you're seeing, is the second mask. So then grab this point, hit delete. This point over here, hit delete. Oh, whoops. Grab this point, hit delete, and there we go. Now we have a line just on the top. Now we lock that first mask, and we grab the second mask, and we do the same for the top on the second mask. Double click, make sure you get that bounding box on just those 2 points. Go to layer, mask and shape, path, uncheck closed. Now we can grab that, grab that. There you go. Now we have 2 lines, 2 masks, which is the stroke of our jib jobby. Go ahead and click all masks. Boom. So that's cool. Now we have what we want. And we'll go with something like a goldish sort of color up in here, maybe like that. So there we go. There is our there's the trim for this. Then we're going to do that a few times. We do that on the left inner, duplicate that, go ahead and solo it, hit the mask, duplicate the mask, lock the second one, go ahead here and let's see, do we need to, yeah, we do. Okay, so lock the second mask, grab that first one, and we're going to delete the bottom. Grab those 2, double click, so you got a bounding box around those 2 points, layer, mask and shape path, uncheck closed, and then delete those bottom 2 points, right? Lock that mask, unlock the second one, and we're going to grab the first 2 points, double click, layer, mask and shape path, uncheck closed, and then go ahead and delete. Boom. Beautiful. Okay. Now left inner here doesn't have a stroke on it, so we're just going to grab that stroke, Control copy, Control C, and then paste it onto here. And yeah, there we go. That's the left point. And you see we're doing it for the top of this left part here, because when it animates on, we're actually going to see that. So, you know, just keep that in mind. And then finally for this left bottom one. Now this one we don't actually have to duplicate the mask, because we want to see all of it except for this line here. So grab these 2 points, double click, bounding box, mask and shape path, and then uncheck closed, and boom, there you go. And then we're also going to grab oh, actually, you know what? Let's redo that. We need to we need to duplicate that layer. Call that left stroke. Come to the mask, and then do the same thing again for this. And we'll do layer. Shape path unclosed, and that's what we want. All right, now we're going to grab that stroke again, copy, paste it onto the left part, and beautiful. Yep. So I think, yeah, see, there we go. We have the half. Couple things, and we're going to move it over in just a minute, but we're going to try and make it look pretty here, a little bit prettier at least. Go ahead and grab that main stroke, and we'll do a type in CC light sweep. Grab that. You can do this if you want or not. We're just adding a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting here. Get rid of that. Bring the edge intensity to 0, edge thickness down to 0, and let's see, how much exactly do you want that? You know, just a little bit. Bring that down to smooth. Bring this down like that. You just kind of want to play around here until you get something that you like, and it's subtle. You know, it's better if it's subtle. It's better if you do a bunch of subtle things than doing a bunch of super heavy-handed stuff. So I'm just going to duplicate the light sweep, move it over, maybe somewhere in the center, and duplicate it again, and go ahead and grab it and move it over. There you go. We can copy that light sweep again. Go ahead and Control C to copy it, and then we're going to move it onto the left part, this chunk here. Just go ahead and paste it there. We'll move this over. Whoops, that's not where we want it. We want it on the stroke. If you hold down Shift while you're dragging this, then it'll keep it to moving just horizontally. So there you go. Maybe something like that. Just really sort of subtle sort of things. Yeah, and then maybe we'll also do like a bevel, alpha, sure. Bring it down to 1, 0.4, right, on the stroke. Alpha, and then we'll copy that and also put it on the main stroke, right? And the left inner, call this stroke. Bevel alpha, right, there we go. And if you also want, we can also do a drop shadow. Try it on the left stroke, right? And that's a little bit too much. We'll bring the distance back down to, like, I don't know, 2. What's 3 look like? That's fine. Soften it out a little bit. Then copy that and paste that onto the main stroke. Right? Yep. And there you go. That actually doesn't look bad. Yeah, so there you go. Now we can copy stuff over. So basically we have this left part, right? So we're going to duplicate that, call it right, hit the S for scale, uncheck this, then change it to -100. And that places it pretty much where we want it to be. Alright. And then we also want to duplicate the left stroke. We'll call this right stroke. Hit S, uncheck that, set that to -100, right? We'll shift these around a little bit. And then also the left inner, which is this piece right in here, and we'll duplicate that, call it right inner, hit S for scale, uncheck the link, -100, there we go, and then we'll also duplicate this left inner stroke, so duplicate it, call it right inner stroke, hit S for scale, uncheck the link, and change it to -100. So there we go. There is our ribbon. Pretty neat speedo. Looks pretty good. So now we're going to turn off all the strokes when we animate this, just to make things a little bit easier. So on the left, we're going to grab the linear wipe. And for this, I like to, let's see here. I'll show you what I'm doing. And we want to animate on, so change that to -90. Turn it up. There we go. So maybe like, let's just set it for 80. Move to 1 second. And roll it back until it comes on. Maybe like back to 60 there. Hit U. Grab both of those. Hit and if, oh geez, right click, keyframe interpolation, change it to Bezier, right? There we go. So it comes on, it's not linear keyframes, and then the next is this left inner stroke, yeah. We're going to add the linear wipe again, and we're going to animate this on, I think, oh whoops, wrong one, left inner. How does this go? And it is, yeah, it's going the right way. So maybe at like 35, go to 1 second, wrong way, bring it back down to say like 25, looks pretty good. Bring you to show the keyframes. Right click, keyframe interpolation. We'll do Bezier again. There we go. And I'm doing this. I'm just guessing about 1 second or whatever. Although you know some of them will be quicker than that. But and I do it at the beginning. And then now we're going to shift stuff. Take this left inner where it has the keyframes on it. And as that left part comes on, actually, you know, I might put it in the right spot. Change that to half. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not bad. So yeah, left inner's done. Now we do the main. Let's set this linear wipe. We need to change it the other way to -90. So there we go. It's going to start around 75. Move it to 1 second. Bring it on to like 25 or so. There you go. Hit U to bring up the keyframes. Right click, keyframe interpolation. Change it to Bezier. You know, you can select these and hit F9, but the F9 actually pauses the recording, so I can't use that. So we have to do it, you know, a different way, although F9 would definitely be quicker. And now we're just going to slide this over until, actually, did I get it just right on that time? I think I did. Pure luck there. Yeah. Just move them until, you know, it feels right. And sometimes you have to work it down to the, you know, moving one keyframe or whatever, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Then we'll do the right enter here. We'll do another linear wipe. Make sure it's going the right way here. Is it? No, it's not. Change that to -90. Yeah, so we're going to change it to about 75. You can CTI down to 0. And then to 1 second. There, wipe it on to, I don't know, like 60%. So it's like 75 to 60%, something like that. Hit the U to show all the keyframes. Grab the right click, go to keyframe interpolation, change that to Bezier. Hit OK. So this comes on and ends right about there, and then we're just going to shift the right inner layer until it just about starts. So maybe there. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's okay. There you go. And then the last one, which is just the right layer, which is right down here. And we're going to do a linear wipe on that. See how this, yep, it's going the right way. So we'll do about 35% here, create a keyframe, go to 1 second, roll it back to, I don't know, like 20% or so. Hit U, grab both those keyframes, right click, keyframe interpolation, Bezier, and there we go. And as soon as that hits that, ends, we shift this over, shift the right over until right where it begins, maybe like right there. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Now, you know, this is moving kind of slow and not terribly exciting, but you guys can you know, either time remap it or you know, move these keyframes around to get it going a little bit faster. But yeah, so now what we do is, the reason we left the strokes out just so we could watch it animate quicker. Now we're going to grab this linear wipe, copy, move to the left stroke here. The layers are in the same place on the timeline, so that's fine. And we'll go ahead and just paste that linear wipe. So as you can see, hit U, the keyframes are in the same place. They're going to animate on at exactly the same time. Now we're going to do that for all of these. So this right here, we're going to go ahead and copy that linear wipe, hit copy, go to the stroke, turn that on, drag the layer over so that it's even with the right, and hold down shift for the CTI to make sure. It's important to note that wherever you paste, like if my CTI is over here and I paste that linear wipe, then the keyframes are going to start right there. So you want to make sure your CTI is where you want to paste, which is at the beginning of the layer. So we hit Control V to paste. There they go. And we'll do it with the left inner. Go ahead and copy that linear wipe. Slide the left inner stroke over so that's even with this. Hit paste on that. Grab both of those. Hit U. Beautiful. And then we have this right inner stroke, which we're going to shift over. On the right inner, we're going to grab the linear wipe. Right inner stroke, we're going to paste that. Whoops, CTI is not in the right spot. U, beautiful. And then finally, we got the main. Make sure the main is there. We shift the main stroke over. Grab the main linear wipe, copy, paste that onto the stroke, and there you go. And I think, boom, beautiful. Let's see. Turn on that stroke, and that's working. Yeah, that's working too. Beautiful. And there we have an animated ribbon. Now, let's just do a new composition real quick and add some quick text. Let's call this text. And you know, you can sort of do whatever you want here. I'm not really going to focus on the text. For the video, I added a ramp and a bevel, so nothing too complicated. Go back to comp 2. Comp 2, we'll just call this main comp, right? And then comp 3 is the text. So we're going to drag the text in here, just sort of center it. And then, you know, like I did with all the other things, just move this CTI to where the main starts because the text shows up on the main part. Grab that linear wipe, and we're going to put it also on the text. Boom. So as that text, as the main part reveals, so does the text. And there you go. There is our there's a ribbon banner. And there's more stuff you can do to this if you want to, make it pretty. You can change the colors and sort of do whatever you want. But this is one sort of style, and I'll show you how to real quick. We'll make a new composition, and you can easily sort of change the appearance of it. So drag that main comp into the new composition, right? So there you go. So it animates on, and then easily go ahead and type warp. This is fun. This arc isn't great, so I probably wouldn't use that. But this arch, on the other hand, not so bad. You want something that doesn't actually stretch the text in weird ways too much. You are going to probably have to move this down a little bit, your whole composition down, because it moves it sometimes off the entire screen or whatever. So anyway, yeah, and that's pretty cool. Nice little ribbon there, and then you can change it and do some other things. Like there's the wave. This is probably a little too intense. Go ahead and reset this real quick. But you can bring it down so you got a little bit of a wave to it. So that's pretty cool. And you can go ahead and play around with all these sort of different flags. Not bad. Let's stretch the text maybe a little bit too weird. But you got all these options here to play around the ribbon, do whatever you want, because it's already animated here, and all we're doing is just warping that composition. So yeah, I personally like the arc. Or is that what I want? Yeah. There you go. And there you go. Animates on. Very cool. So yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you have any suggestions for more tutorials, let me know. Thanks.